Welcome back to another episode of Scumbag.
Hold on, we got to do the
clap. Fuck's sakes. Every time I forget this.
dude.
Right, okay, sorry.
1, 2, 3. Our guest had a great one. We'll go with yours.
It's become an ongoing bit now that we all just clap, and
It's my only contribution.
All right.
It's a great contribution.
It's a great bit.
Thank you, man.
Welcome back to Scumbag or Scoundrel, guys. I got a buddy on here that I'm pretty excited for. He's done really cool things like the Beaverton. He was also on the failed Tim Hortons ad. You guys remember Beyond Meat at Tim Hortons? No, because it didn't last, but this man was the face of that campaign. Really pumped to have you on, buddy. Will Atwood. So
This is it. This is
it.
great.
This is the
Welcome
thing.
to the studio, my friend.
Thank you.
The beautiful studio.
It's
Very
great. I
professional.
love what you've done here. With
Yeah,
the
thank you.
spookiness.
With
It's
the
good.
very spooky, yeah,
Yeah.
and the naked girl candle.
Hell yeah.
Now, tell me, like, how have you been doing with the whole COVID thing? You been doing shows at all, or staying active?
Yeah, I've been trying to. I'm actually really excited about this because the first time I'm publicly showing my COVID body. Yeah, I gained a solid 30 pounds. Thank you.
Bravo.
You're just bulking up before you get shredded.
Yeah, man, you need that
Basically.
extra meat to really get the muscle built on.
And
so.
I find that several bottles of wine helps
helps a lot. Absolutely,
It's good for the immune system. There's a lot of
and
vitamin C in there.
great for the mental health as well.
Perfect. Yeah, I've never thought so crazily in my entire life.
Yeah, I know. Being isolated and always being drunk, really good for me.
Yeah, and I thought to myself, I was like, what could I do to even make this better? I was like, I should tell a crazy story about myself.
Yeah, really expose
To
myself
everyone.
out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that kind of leads us to the first part. I'm curious to hear because this is actually a story that, like a lot of the guests that we have on, I could kind of get prefaced what is going on, but with you, this is 100% raw. I have no idea what's going to come out of your mouth. Right now, so I'm pretty excited.
You like that.
This is
I like
exciting.
that.
Yeah, it does because the reactions are way more genuine that way. Like so I'm looking forward to
Sweet.
hearing what the fuck
Is
you
coming
did.
out, yeah.
Now hold on, is this going to be a young Will story or is a top young boy Will or is this a man Will?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Isaac. This is going to be a young man, Will. I don't know. How old is 17? Is that young man?
You're a
Or is
young
that like
man.
old
Still-
kid?
yeah,
Is
no,
that old kid?
Old kid.
Old kid.
Old kid.
So this is an old kid.
So take
Will.
it easy on him, okay?
Yeah, I mean,
Just
I
a
was,
young child, old child.
I was an old kid and barely a young man.
Yeah.
So
Not even legal yet.
not even legal. Which actually adds a lot more to it. Do you want to do some pleasantries before we start, or should I just get right into her?
I don't know, man. Whatever you want, baby. It's this is
You
your
asked me,
show.
how are you guys doing?
Well, I'm doing okay.
We're doing fine. We're surviving.
I'm
you know?
I'm kind of in the same boat, isolating, playing video games, and drinking too much, and but all in all, hanging in there, doing okay. We're doing the podcast, so that feels good to be.
There's
doing
no holes in
something.
your drywall, so that means
I
that you're
know.
keeping the drinking somewhat responsible.
And I've been winning at my video games, so
Yeah,
the holes start popping up when I lose. That's,
Right.
yeah.
I'm doing all right, man. I mean, music's kind of toast, but
Yeah.
it was sucked anyway. Who cares?
Yeah, I don't even
Yeah.
like music.
Yeah,
I
music's
really-
so stupid.
Well, no, but you are still doing some shows.
Yeah, there's
right?
still some gigs going on, and you do what you can, but we're all in this together. We're all gonna pull together. It's gonna be fun.
Dude, you should run for president.
I've been thinking about it so hard.
You're not
dude.
nearly senile enough to get away with it.
Oh, dude.
You're fucked, not that fucked.
CIA would fucking take me out like Kennedy, bro.
Yeah, man.
Day one, they'd be like, "Hey, want to go in a convertible ride to Dallas?"
I'd be like,
Hell
yeah,
yeah,
love Dallas.
Fuck yeah, dude. Dallas is sick.
Let me just call my friends, man. Like, it's gonna be awesome.
Hey, there's someone in that book tower. What's going on,
Hey!
buddy?
You should come down here. I think he's got a telescope. Okay, so let's. I'll just tell you.
Yeah.
So I was 17, like I said,
Old boy.
a real old boy, and I grew up in Port Perry. I don't know if you know Port Perry.
No, is that Ontario?
It's Ontario.
Okay.
Yeah.
North or South Ontario?
I guess it's just sort of north, I guess. Like anyone who's from Northern Ontario would laugh, but anyone here would be like, "Yeah, of course, the north."
North of Toronto?
Yeah,
It's North Ontario.
Northern
Know
Ontario.
yourselves.
You heard it here first.
you heard it first. Yeah, so I grew up there. So I grew up near this German community. So I was on the outskirts of Port Perry. So a lot of people would come up and they had cottages in this gated community. And a buddy of mine lived in Etobicoke, and he was up. And he was he's about to head back down to Etobicoke, and he's a couple years older.
Okay.
So
So he's the one buying you guys booze.
hell yeah.
Yeah, he was the sick hookup.
Well,
Yeah,
to be
those
fair,
are-
I had a fake ID since I was 15.
Okay, so you had it figured out from day one. You're
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah. So he was heading back, and my best friend and I, he's like, you guys should come down with us. And I was like, sweet man, this is great. So We were like, I'm going to the big city. I'm going to the big city of Etobicoke.
Yeah.
But you know it well.
Yeah.
It's
Great,
garbage.
great town.
Beautiful city. So I'm really excited to hop in the Ford Taurus, and we're driving down.
Oh, the Taurus.
The old
too.
Taurus, yeah.
Ah,
It was like,
yeah.
you
This
know,
really dates you. I love that. That was like the biggest car for the longest time in the early 2000s.
yeah, and it was gold.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, so it was
Gold Taurus, baby.
Gold Taurus.
Gold Taurus.
That's actually the name of my band.
Yeah.
I was
Gold
gonna
Check
say,
'em out.
That's a sick.
They're
band,
really
man.
bad.
Really bad. It's actually we just take like instruments and we don't know how to play them.
Yeah.
And it's just me and my cat.
And they only, I'm just kidding, they only sing about Ford Tauruses. It's really
Yeah.
stupid. The lyrical content is
Who
awful.
got that Ford Taurus? I do.
That sounds sick.
That's actually really good.
Oh,
yeah.
hey,
Start a
that's
record label and sign you. Take you big time.
Hell yeah. So we're going down to the Ford Taurus, and like I was just like, because I'm like a small town person, I was like, holy shit, like the 401.
Sorry, may I? How small is this community? Because Eddie and I are both from very, very small communities as well. How small is,
Port Perry.
Port Perry?
It's pretty small. We had one high school, but I actually didn't grow up in Port Perry. So on the outskirts of Port Perry is Blackstock, and outside of Blackstock is Cadmus.
Okay.
So I grew up in Cadmus, and when I went
You're
to
making words up at this
I
point.
know, yeah, and Gerbleckerball, no, yeah, so
Middle Earth sounding names.
exactly, yeah. Aragon's actually my dad.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I went to high school, everyone was like, where are you from? Like, oh, Cadmus. And like, the fuck is a Cadmus?
What does that mean?
What is that?
It's a cabinet.
So how big, what was the population of that community that you were technically from?
Oh, like, man, like maybe 40.
Oh, nice. Okay, so
Right
kind of like
on.
Shetland for us. Like,
yeah, you're one of us then, dude.
Yeah.
Shetland?
Yeah, that's
Shetland.
See,
That's
and
what-
you're
yeah,
making
yeah.
fun of Cadmus, man. Shetland.
I know, 100%.
Oh yeah, where'd you grow up? Oh man, Shetland.
Yeah,
Hey,
we're from Shetland.
Shetland.
That was my dad's ongoing joke too. Whenever I'd be like, "I'm watching the hockey game tonight," I'd be like, what about them Shetland ponies?" And I'd be like, "Oh God, man! Like they're not even a real hockey team." But he just thought it was hilarious to say that the Shetland ponies were an NHL team. And that's what he
The
said.
Shetland ponies.
Yeah. Well, how about them Shetland ponies? Like, how about you leave the jokes alone? How about that?
leave it to me. Yeah, so it was like 40 people. So when I went to
Awesome.
high school, they were like, I don't know what Cadmus is. And I was like, great, that's only 15 minutes away.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
But anyway, so we're flying down the 401. I'm looking at all the lights. I'm like, it's super exciting. Because the plan was we were going to go to a strip club.
Nice.
17-year-old old kid,
Yeah.
not a young man, going to go to a strip club.
About to get some strippers in trouble legally.
In trouble, a lot of trouble. Very irresponsible of me,
Yeah,
really, I think.
sure.
So we're going down, and I realized I forgot my fake ID, so I was like, okay, so let's just go to Newmarket and get another ID from my cousin. So this isn't the sleazy part. We just went over and got an ID, and then we're like, boof, heading to Etobicoke.
Okay.
Exotic downtown Etobicoke.
Yeah, the beautiful city.
Yeah, so we get there, we get to my friend's house, and we're like, okay, what are we gonna do? It's like a Sunday night, and we're like, let's get some beers into us and let's have a fun time. Am I allowed to say the name of the strip club?
You can say whatever you
I don't
want.
care, man. It's you that's talking.
Can I guess if you're in Etobicoke where you're going?
Yeah. Actually,
Landing strip?
No, we're gonna go. We were thinking about it, but I think it was like closed that day.
It is a Sunday. Weird day to go to a strip club.
Not if you're 17.
Yeah, no, for
Yeah.
sure. Okay, what was the name? Now I'm curious. I actually haven't been to any strip clubs since
I haven't
starting for
either,
years.
but
like,
yeah.
like not since I was a wee.
I think the last time I went, I think I was underage still. Actually,
Yeah, me too. I haven't been to a strip club as a legal adult.
because it's just depressing when you can just go there.
Yeah, exactly.
You
If you're
know,
not
like-
like sneaking in, you're like, this is weird. I don't like this. Like
Showing
it's
up
just
and
sad.
seeing all the moms and
Yeah, exactly.
stepdads, and you're like, this sucks,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, but when you're a kid, though, an
Yeah.
old kid, not like
Yeah.
a kid, but like an old kid, then it's like sick.
Yeah, that understands sex and how amazing it is and how amazing it feels.
Yeah, and you're like, one day I'm gonna do that.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
strip, but like maybe like a.
I'm gonna
person.
do that.
Yeah,
Her.
well, yeah, didn't have enough money. So we're like, okay, so it's I don't know if you guys know the House of Lancaster. If you
Yeah,
know.
that's not Etobicoke though.
Yeah, well, there's two of them.
Oh, it's a chain. I was gonna say because that one's like
Bloor
on
Street.
Yeah,
Bloor,
there's on Bloor, yeah. So that one is like very much like the gentleman's club, right?
Yeah.
But the one in Etobicoke, we were really excited because it had like wrestling, like Jello wrestling.
Awesome. This
Yeah.
is great already.
Yeah,
okay.
so we were like, this
That's
is
cool.
Yeah, it was very cool.
If
yeah.
Daddy gets hungry after the show, you got some Jello.
Got some Jello, yeah, exactly. Get a little Jello, a little hepatitis, fantastic.
Yeah. Mix it all together.
Yeah,
Have A,
exactly.
B, and C.
Yeah, mix that
Just
together, get
rinse
hepatitis
this
Z.
Jello off.
Yeah, okay, so we're like, we're gonna go. We're excited. I'm 17. I got my fake ID from my cousin, who looks sort of like me in that he's white.
Yeah. White and short hair.
Yeah, exactly. So I was
yeah.
like, it was definitely a shoe-in to make it. So we get there. Buddy goes in, and then my other friend goes in. I think he was 18. Yeah, so he had a fake ID as well and got
he's
in.
still underage too.
Yeah, his was like from BC though.
Yeah.
But of course he would be there on a Sunday.
Yeah.
So we go in, we're having a good time. They bring out the Jello wrestling, and I'm just losing my mind because I'd never been to a bar, like been drinking at a bar, let alone a strip club.
Yeah, dude, you're 17. There's fucking titties and Jello everywhere.
Dude,
You
there
don't
was
know what
titties
to do.
everywhere on a Sunday night too, and like I didn't know this at the time, but on Sunday is not a good time to go to a strip club.
No,
for
absolutely
titties.
not. Go to
gonna
the
be a-
Monday matinee show. You might as well.
Yeah,
Like, what a fucking nightmare.
There's gonna be a lot of boob. It's just not good.
not
boob.
good
No.
boob.
Yeah. Yeah. So they start wrestling, and this is just very funny. Getting up to the good stuff. So, there's this. They bring out the lady. They have this like the staircase, right? You got to come down from the DJ booth, and they got this giant elevated stage, and like this girl comes down. She's all sexy, and we're just like hollering away, like woo! And I'm like, I'm supposed to be here, like. So she comes down. She's really hot and seductive, and then they bring in the next person, and it's like they had some like dangerous music playing. And I was like, oh, what's happening here? It's exciting, right? So she comes down, and she, like, her jaw, I don't know if you've done cocaine, but she has done a lot of cocaine. Her jaw was, like, going all over the place, and she just looked angry. And I just looked at my buddy, and I was like, what is happening to her face? So she came down, and within seconds, like, obviously this was going to happen, they just start wrestling, and she was the one lady, the gentle lady, she was trying to be sexy.
Yeah.
And the other one was obviously not. At all. She like attacked her and like threw her off the stage into a bunch of chairs. And
How
like,
high is the stage now? Is it low enough for like toonie dives, or is it like a really big?
oh, it's
elevated
high
stage?
because like the floor, like for some reason there was like a hill, like it goes down. So like the front of the stage, like if you're sitting, the stage is here, right?
That's a far way to fall.
Hell fucking yeah, it is. And then it goes down a bit, and she threw her off the stage into a table, and she broke her leg.
The stripper did?
Yeah, she broke her leg.
Fuck, dude.
And so they were like, oh, so we're like, it's like
Your new champion.
yeah, it was crazy. And she was like screaming on stage. So like, we're like, what the shit is happening? So we did some shots out of those tubes, and we're just watching a stripper get carried out by a paramedic. And then I was going up to the bar, and the owner was like not yelling, I guess sternly speaking to her, the fighter, the strong one.
Yeah, the coked one.
The coked out one, yeah. And was like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
And she's like, you know what? You brought me in here to fight. You know, that's what I was going to do. I was going to fight. Awesome. And he's like, but this was supposed to be sexy. And she's like, I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter. And I just...
You're in the wrong realm.
So
Yeah.
funny. Some stripper wrestlers are from the stripper world. They move into wrestling. She was pure wrestling.
Wrestler?
She's
Yeah.
like, I'm a fucking.
But
I'm
it wasn't.
A legend, dude.
It wasn't just that was wrestling. Like, that was, like she would watch WWE and be like, "That shit is tight." Like, that's
She was doing
so
WWE,
funny.
but for real.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't- she wasn't doing it safely so she could make the person land and not be hurt. She was like, no, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
I'm
No, she
going to
was
fuck you
mad.
up.
Like
Yeah.
she lost custody of her kid that day or something.
Yeah,
It was
some
like,
terrible
yeah.
ass.
Or gain custody.
Or gain custody. Yeah. So I was just having a drink watching, and I was like, "This is fantastic."
I love that. I love that too. That this is your idea now of what strip clubs are. Like,
yeah.
this is your first experience with it. You're like, this is what people do. This is awesome. I
Yeah.
love
Next
it.
time I'll bring a sign with like.
Just like I don't know, like some circles and dots in the middle. I'll be like, "This is great." So I was watching that, and then naturally, I want to stick around.
Yeah,
I brought $60 to the strip club.
It's not gonna last you too long, but yeah.
No, I didn't know. So we're hanging out, and we're like, let's get some fucking lap dances, right? Like this is great. So I get a lap dance from this beautiful woman. I don't know. I think she was from like Brazil or something, but she lived in Hamilton. And I was like, this is great. We're having lap dances. I didn't know about the whole $20 per song deal.
Yeah.
So I was like, gave her $20 for the lap dance and go in there. My friend's off getting a lap dance, doing whatever. And we're hanging out. Song goes by. I was like, hey, let's get some shots of tequila. I'm like, in Port Perry, I'm pretty sure that costs like $4 a shot. So she's like, cool, let's do that. So I'm
Some $6
Buddy,
ginger ale.
Nobody gave you the talk going into this place, huh?
I think that
right.
everybody gave me too much credit for how smart they thought I might be, which I'm not.
And they probably thought you were balling too, and they thought you were cool. Like, look, he's fucking spinning up a storm. What a cool guy.
Buddy's allowance. He's been saving this up for the past 2 years.
Yeah. Do you know how many lawns I cut for this? So yeah, I'm ordering shots, and then like a classic knucklehead. I was just like, what would be hilarious if I gave you a lap dance? And she's like, okay, this is.
She's like, you're still paying me. I don't care.
Yeah, she doesn't give a shit. She's like, I don't have to do anything. So like I took all my clothes off, and I was like rubbing up on her. She's laughing. But here's where it gets kind of interesting. I thought it would be funny to tell her that my friend, because she asked why we were there.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, my friend's in the military. He's
fuck.
going to Iraq tomorrow.
Oh no.
So we're just having like a good one night party before we send him to Iraq to the war. And she's like, what? I'm like, I didn't even say what was happening. It was just like the war.
The war. You know the one.
You know the one?
The one.
I was like, the Iraq, the war. You know?
Again, another thing that really dates when this happened. The Ford Taurus in the Iraq war now.
Yeah, I'm still young. I'm cool, man. I'm hip. Post Malone, why not? I listen to him. That's how you know you're cool.
Yeah. Listen to Posty.
Yeah, listen to Posty. So yeah, I was like, yeah, my friend's going to Iraq to the war, and she's like, oh wow, like what do you do? And I was like, and immediately I was like, what can I say to her that's cool? And I was like, I go to McMaster University. I was like, yeah, I don't know why. I was like, I'm studying gym at McMaster University, and I play.
Mean.
And I know, and I was like, I play on the football team. She's like, oh wow, that's so cool. And I was like, yeah, of course it is. And so I'm racking up a drink bill, I'm racking up a lap dance bill, just going out of control. And so I somehow convinced her, with how cool I was, that we should go back to her place in Hamilton, because I was like, I gotta go back there. And she's like, oh, yeah,
You're in Hamilton?
Well, we're in Toronto, and we're gonna go to Hamilton.
Oh,
You were in Etobicoke initially.
Yeah.
And then you're going to Hamilton, which is
Yeah.
further west, right?
Yeah. So she's like into it. She was actually, this is really funny because I have a Bengal cat now. And we were like talking, and she's like, yeah, don't try nothing stupid. I have 2 Bengal cats. And I was like, like a tiger? I was like,
you have a live tiger in there?
and she's like, no, but they're like tigers. And I was like,
No,
what
they're
the
not.
fuck? No, I know that now. But like in my head, I was like, you got some giant ass cats. I'm like, so strippers, when you go to the strip club, somebody breaks their leg. And somebody is coked out and beats up that person, and then you meet people who own tigers. That's what I thought strip clubs were, and everything is $4. Everything's super cheap.
You've literally just walked into the whole Tiger King premise in your first experience with a fucking strip club.
Yeah, and there I was wearing a fucking Toronto Argonauts hat.
Yeah.
Like maybe like
I'm hoping to get drafted to the Toronto Argonauts from McMaster University.
Go Marauders! Woo! Like that's
It's like, okay.
Man, I love Toronto. You're in Etobicoke, I know, right?
right, for sure, whatever that means.
Part of the 6. What do you mean?
Yeah, I don't even think it was called the Six.
No, that was way before Drake.
Yeah.
Way before that stuff.
Yeah, Drake was still in a wheelchair then.
Yes, he was. Degrassi High, baby.
Never forget. So like the lights come up eventually. Like I don't know, just like it's hard. It's a bit of a blur. It was a long time ago. So the lights come up, and we're like sweet. We're gonna do this. I'm like, I am going to have sex with a stripper.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
In Hamilton, and while her tigers watch. So lights come on. She's like, hey, we gotta go. She's like, so here's the deal. Like, you just go settle up your bill, and then we'll skedaddle, right? This is exactly what she said. No, she didn't say that. So she's like, yeah, pay your bill, and we'll get the fuck out of here. I was like, awesome, cool, yeah. Like, how much is the bill? And I get the bill, and it's like $578.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and I'm like, so I was like, Scumbag! I was like, what the fuck? Like,
How did this happen?
how was the last 5 hours more than $60? How does that doesn't add up?
So beautifully naive. I love this.
Oh yeah, I was like, this doesn't make any sense to me. So I was just like, all right, I got the bill, and she's like standing there with me, and I was like, tell you what, let's head over to that ATM there, and I'll pull out some money. I walked to the ATM knowing I didn't have that kind of money, and so I do it, and then I put in the wrong PIN on purpose, and I was like, oh shit, wrong PIN. She's like, okay, whatever, just do it again. And I did it, and I was like, fuck, I don't have enough money on my account, but actually my friend owes me a lot of money because he's standing there. And he was like talking to our other friend. No, he was talking to a stripper that he had talked to because the other friend left.
The Iraqi war friend?
No, the Iraqi war friend is there.
Okay.
And
Stealing valor, chilling.
Yeah. He was just spreading truth and stuff and like being great. But the other friend left because he wanted to go. He was the Toronto guy. He wanted to go meet one of his friends at like a non-strip club. So I walk over to him and I'm just like, holy fuck, what am I gonna do? And like there's like when you walk in this place too initially, there's a long hallway, right? And then that's where the bouncers are, and they were really big. I've never seen people so big.
They always are.
Yeah, and then so when you go in, you gotta
be.
you
There's
gotta.
a lot of creeps that come through the strip club.
Yeah, and little do they know, I would be one of them. So you can walk in, and then you got to take your left, and that's when you enter the kill zone, I guess. So I'm like racking my brain. I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Like this is crazy. So I walked over to my friend. I guess we'll call him SL.
Yeah.
Are we at 16?
No, you're good. You're good. Just keep going.
Yeah, so
That's
what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna make it like subtle.
Yeah.
So I walked up to him and I kind of like stepped on his foot and I was like, just go, like did one of the like, just go. And I was like, hey man, do you have any like cash I can borrow so I can pay this woman? And he's like, what? And I was like, just go, right? And he's like, no, man. He's like, deal with your own shit. And I was like, thank you. I was like, dude, I'm like, you owe me money, man. Like, you got to. And he's like, no, I'm leaving. And I was like, okay, cool. So I turned around. I was like, this is working perfectly because I had actually come up with a bit of a plan in my head here. So I turned around to the lady and I was like, don't worry. I'll probably just use my credit card, I guess. I don't like using it, but I got to use it.
I'll get the points.
I'll
Whatever.
I'll get the points, yeah. And she's like, okay. And I was like, reaching. I was like, oh, you know what? He actually has my credit card. So he's already left. He's he's out of the kill zone.
He's out of the door.
Out of the kill zone, but he's still possibly in that hallway.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, cool. So we're walking towards him. I'm like, all right. So I'm watching her in my peripheral. I got great peripheral vision.
You got eyes in the back of your head.
Yeah, definitely.
You're like an owl doing fucking 180.
Yeah, everyone used to call me the owl in college.
Yeah.
It was a weird nickname. So I'm watching her with my eyes, obviously. And I see her. She stops for like a millisecond to like talk to one of her friends, and and I was like, shit. I was like, it's now or never. So she turned her head and like turned her body, and I just right out of the kill zone. I'm going right to where those giant men were, where the long hallway is, and I'm running, and like I'm playing football at this time. Like I'm like in my head, I really was thinking that maybe one day I'd play for the Argos. I didn't have a lot of hopes or dreams. So anyway, so I'm running. I'm in pretty good shape, and I'm like, okay, just got to get around that corner, and then I just hear her screaming. And I was like, shit, she caught me a lot faster than I expected. Because in my head, I was like, I was going to sneak away like a fucking...
She's got that stripper sense, bro. She's like...
Yeah, like,
she smells the money running.
Yeah, like I got owl eyes in my head, and she's got a fair sense of smell.
You know. Specifically for money.
Yeah, it's in her purse, actually. The purse was like... So I'm running, she's yelling, and I'm just like, holy fuck, I got to get past these big giant dudes, right? So I'm running, and I just see these huge arms coming at me right from like here. And I was like, all I got to do is I got to get here, and I got to cut down that way, and I got to run for, I think I'm going to guesstimate like, great word, Will. Like 45 meters. It was a long hallway.
Yeah.
So, and it was all red and had weird like pictures everywhere, whatever, doesn't matter. So I'm getting there, and I feel like a hand grab my shoulder, and I was like, no! And like just somehow got out of his superhuman grip. Fuck! Yeah, so I'm like doing like one of those, like if I had space, I'd show you, like, you know when football players like bust out of a tackle and their legs are flying all stupid. Yeah. I was
like a cartoon almost.
Yeah, it was stupid. So I'm like, and I got through, and I was like, hell yeah. I'm like, I'm going, and I'm like, I'm so cocky at this point. I'm like, there's no one's gonna catch me. I'm so fast. But then I'm running towards the door, and I remember it's two sets of doors. And I can't remember whether they come this way or they go that way.
Oh no! You need that split second too. That's your
exactly
leeway.
Because if I gotta pull it, they're gonna catch me. But if I gotta pull it and I decide that maybe it's not a pull and it's a push, I'm just gonna right into that, and then they're gonna get on top of me and just like I don't know if you ever
the fucking shit out of you.
Yeah,
bastards are dickheams.
Yeah,
They
and
take
it's
any
not like you're
opportunity to
gonna
take
be
that aggression out.
you're not gonna be washing dishes to pay off your bill.
No.
Something weird's gonna happen to make that money.
I'm gonna be dead. I can't think of anything else.
Sleeping with the fishies.
You're gonna be mixing that wrestling jello for the rest of your life,
right?
In the basement.
Oh God,
Not cherry again.
No, so much hepatitis. So I'm running, and I'm just like, I have to make it. This is how long the hallway is. I'm like, I gotta make a decision. Am I gonna stop and try and pull and just figure this out, or am I gonna really fucking get it? Because I got a 50% chance that it's a push.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and then I also had time to think, because I'm pretty quick at thinking sometimes when I'm scared. And I'm thinking, I'm like, what if the other door is different? And I'm like, I don't got time for this. So I'm running, and I'm just like full as fast. I sped up even before I hit the door, and just boof, hit the door, blew open. I got so lucky.
Thank
and I was like,
ah!
yes. So I was like, I gotta do it again. So I just kicked the door ahead of me. Same thing, went in. And I was like, this is so lucky for me. So I'm running out into the like. Do you guys remember that IKEA commercial when she's like running? She's like, start the car, start the car. Yeah. So my buddy, we'll call him SL. We have his parents' like old Passat.
I'm not even familiar.
Volkswagen. I know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. So we well, I guess it was the Passat was the other person's friend. So the Taurus is still at the house, and then now we got the Passat, and it's one of those
Upgraded.
Upgraded. But no, I wouldn't even say it was an upgrade. It was a weird car.
Nothing runs like a Taurus, baby.
Nothing runs like a Taurus.
Yeah, because they just don't run.
Exactly. So I'm running down the fucking park. We parked so far away for some reason.
Yeah.
Like so far away. It's got like the one in Etobicoke's got a big parking lot, and there's like a KFC Just thought I'd mention. So I'm running, and I was like, get in the car, get in the car. Like, he's like, he can't get the fucking key in the door. And he's just because like I somehow caught up. Like like I know it took a while to get to this point, but like I caught up to him. And so he's trying to get the key in the door, and I'm running, and I just hear him like people behind me, and I'm just like, oh no. And I see there's like so many people, like strippers, big dudes. You know?
They've all come to rally.
Yeah, a little old guy comes
The wrestlers running after you.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I don't know, Brock Lesnar was there. Like, so I'm running towards the car, and I was like, get in there. And he's like, fucking like, oh, man, can't get it in the hole. Right? So he finally slides it in, gets in there, and he just starts driving towards, he gets in, gets the car on, he starts driving towards me, and he's still moving, and I grabbed onto the door handle and like, fucking, I don't know, somehow Superman my way into the car, like flew in, and as we were going forward, we almost smashed into the stripper. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So close to a hit and run.
Yeah.
So close to a
Like,
criminal offense.
Yeah, because he was like watching me to get in there and didn't realize he drove right towards the people.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like get in there. He's like, fuck, and like did like a big. I didn't know Passats could squeal the tires. Yeah, and it was like nuts, and like the door still wasn't closed. I'm like, oh man, close the door, and like he just takes off. So we're going down whatever street that is, the Queensway, I guess.
Yeah.
On a Sunday night at like 2:30 in the morning, doing like I don't know, like $1.60, just flying. We're like, oh no! And like I looked back, and everybody was like on. Like I picture them doing like, you son of a bitch, like yelling, but they're all just like standing there like huffing and puffing, and I was like, holy shit!
They go, that's
Fuck,
the
man.
third one this week. God damn it, we gotta stop letting our guard down.
Yeah.
Dude, that is so crazy.
That's
You got
crazy.
the fuck out of there, man.
And just
That's
as like,
amazing.
and just like a very like it gets even stupider. Not really, but a month later we went back on a Sunday night.
That is so
And
ballsy, dude.
Did
Yeah.
they recognize you at all?
Not
they
at
didn't,
all.
no.
Not at all.
Did you see the same stripper by chance?
No, she wasn't there because I feel like they probably killed her.
Yeah, they're like, this is your bag.
Yeah.
You were gonna go home with this dude in Hamilton? What the fuck? Like they kicked her out to Brazil again. Like, they were
Probably,
like,
yeah.
they're
She
like,
probably
no, you're
got exported out of here.
That's why when
is that the right word?
she
I
was
don't know.
running to go with you. She was
Yeah,
like,
you're like, don't leave me with them.
I want to go to Iraq with you. Anything's better than the House of Lancaster.
Yeah, that's so
That's
fucking
so
wild, man.
funny,
And
man.
I imagine, man, like you probably have never attained that similar high from that adrenaline that you had that day.
So I actually have.
Oh. Yikes.
Is that part two?
Yeah, it's part two.
Part two. All right. Well, I think that brings up to our first half, I guess. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Take a little
dude.
break. That was a great story. That was hilarious.
Fuck,
that was
man,
insane.
you had my heartbeat going.
Yeah, I was
like
like genuine because you're good at also building out the story, and I was like, okay, like what next? What happened? Like, is there gonna be a push or a fucking pull door? Because I'm getting stressed out. Like,
I was getting stressed out remembering it.
yeah, I know.
I could just
I've never seen. You're the first person I've seen on this podcast sweat while telling the story.
Dude, it's because
Yeah,
I've gained
man,
a lot of
that
weight.
was intense.
No, it's because it was intense. It was
Yeah.
intense. That was crazy. I was like the whole time. I was like,
It's because
Yeah,
I've gained
man,
a lot of
that
weight.
was intense.
no, it's because it was intense. It was
Yeah.
intense. That was crazy. I was like the whole time. I was like, oh jeez.
Okay. Oh,
All right.
fuck.
Okay. Classic. You do this every time, man.
every goddamn
It's
episode.
become a bit now.
All right, welcome back to part two of Scumbag or Scoundrel with Will Atwood, Mr. Tim Hortons himself. That was a great story, but I forgot, obviously, when we were outside having a cigarette, that we didn't rate this gentleman, whether he was a scumbag or a scoundrel.
And that's the whole reason I came here,
Yeah,
because
that's-
I have to know.
Yeah, he needs to be judged by his friends, and he needs to know where he sits with everybody. I don't know, Ed, you want to take this first one?
You're a big old scoundrel, my
Hell
friend.
yeah.
I loved that story so much. You made my heart race. And you know what? It's like, you're 17. You don't realize that strip clubs, it can put you financially under. So you did what you had to do. If anything, they were trying to beat the shit out of a young kid. Running
A young
away.
kid that they didn't know was a young kid. Like, they were under the illusion that he was of age and a man.
That's
so
true, yeah.
Well, maybe they should up their
game.
ID checking.
Well, as
No,
far as-
man,
yeah, as
because
far
what
as
about
they
the other
knew.
young kids that got to sneak in, man? Like, I'm
No,
all
dude,
for you.
Close the door. We were grandfathered in. We can do these kind of things.
That's true. That's true.
It's
We're of
fucking
age now.
over.
It doesn't matter.
It's over for you.
So, was that wasn't your first experience with a bar altogether, though, right?
It was, I guess so, like drinking at a bar.
At a bar. So that in itself tells me, like, absolute scoundrel, hilarious, because in your head you're probably comparing bar drink prices to like the beer store price, right? You're like, I don't know, fucking beers are like a couple bucks at the beer store. It can't be more than $4. You know
And
what I
just
mean?
being
Like,
in the GTA, it's going to be way more
Well,
expensive.
people would go to the
too.
bar in my
also,
hometown.
strip
and
clubs in
drink.
general are super expensive. Like, even when I remember being so livid going to Triple Play, and started. And I had to go take out money there, and there was you know how like all ATMs have like a $2 charge on it?
$4.
It was $10 at Triple Play.
Holy
And I was like,
fuck.
and I was like, are you fucking serious? And again, like me being like 15 or 16, being like, I don't got $10, man. Like, I don't know what the fuck. I got like $40 in my account. Now I only have 30.
Well, and if you're an idiot, that'll ruin you. Like I went to Montreal, and I spent in 2 nights. I spent $3,000 at the same strip club, and I swear to God,
Oh, dude.
probably $600 of that was the ATM fee.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ATM fees are crazy. Also, how you spent that much money is beyond astonishing. to
That's
me.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's a car. That's a used car that you could have bought there.
Yeah,
I was living in Toronto, and this is why I brought up the landing strip earlier. These two guys came up to visit me, and they were like, "Oh, Ed, we're going to a strip club. We're going to a strip club. You gotta come." And I'm like, "I'm not going.
Yeah.
That's not my thing." So they go, and then at 2:00 in the morning, they call me, and my buddy's like, "Ed, can you come get us?" And I'm like, "No, I can't." Well, why do you need me to come get you? Just get a cab. Like, you have my address. He's like, we spent all of our money.
Yeah.
These two dudes, one guy spent $600 and he banged a stripper.
Hell
Okay, so worth it.
Yes, but here's the thing. I go
Is it
home.
though?
I go home a couple. I go home a couple weeks later. I'm telling this story to my friend who knows these guys. My friend's like, "Yeah, it's crazy that was his fucking virginity." True story.
Whoa.
True fucking story.
And that
Do
all
I
leads
have a
to-
good segue
How
for
does that
you?
ever work for this one?
Before we segue into our next thing here, I will say both of these gentlemen at the time in college to be police officers.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
To protect and to serve.
I'll arrest you if you are. I'll arrest you if you're a prostitute. But if you're a stripper willing to have sex with me for $600, I guess you're cool.
But you gotta buy my taxi home.
Yeah.
'Cause
Daddy
that's
gotta get home. Okay.
That guy
Daddy got
al-
milked. Now he gotta get home.
Separate night, that same future police officer drank so much Fireball at my house that he shit his pants, puked everywhere, and we had to call an ambulance to get him out.
I think I kind of vaguely remember.
Yeah,
that,
so it's
actually.
like,
yeah.
never saw him again.
Yeah.
Maybe he's on the force, maybe he's dead. I don't know.
Who
That's
cares?
do you find that like 90% of the people who try to be cops and are like the craziest people?
They're always fucked.
There was
Always.
this girl from my hometown who became or tried to become a cop, fitness model now actually, or something. And she was at Fanshawe and she was trying to be a cop and she took her high heel off at a bar and stabbed a girl in the face with her high heel.
Tyranny, baby.
Well, I mean, like
It's
if
on
you
the
look
way.
statistically at cops, the anger issues are very real, and I mean, most of them have domestic issues, like domestic abuse issues. Like there is like a certain individual that is kind of attracted to that realm. Obviously, there is some, I imagine, some really wonderful people, but there is like statistically speaking, there's a lot of crazies that are attracted because of that power, man. You're power hungry. You're like, I need it. I need that shit. I haven't felt this good since I stabbed somebody in the face with a heel. You know?
Just trying to get back to that.
Just wanna get
dragon.
that
I just want that
feeling.
eye, man. I need it.
And that's how I knew that I would always be a criminal and never a cop.
Absolutely, yeah. I wouldn't even.
I just like being a part of an organization, you know, but I don't want to like have power over people.
Yeah.
I just want to do drugs.
I just want to do drugs and
That's
sell
it.
drugs and make profit off of said individuals. You know?
Yeah.
Which is
want
what
that
a lot of
power,
cops do. A lot of
baby.
cops are drug dealers.
I need that
Want that power.
Hey, like they seize drugs and resell them back to the streets. I mean, that's the notorious, especially in the States. But a lot of cops, especially like in the 90s and shit like that, when they were
Well, you look
really
at,
on that.
at Reagan and some stuff he did in
Man,
Iran.
think
Really.
about the first cops that did that though, and they were like, "We're geniuses."
Yeah, they're
like,
like,
they were
wow.
like,
And
"This
then
is
everybody
so
else was
fair."
like, "Yo, what's up?"
You mean the
Okay.
first cops?
yeah, the first cops ever.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, this is great. We
Yeah, as soon as
basically
as
do
soon as
what we
drugs
want.
became illegal, they were like, "Yo, we can honestly just resell this back to people after we seize the property." Like,
Oh, rock and roll's illegal. Give me your record. I'm gonna sell that
and
Is
that's
that
why
a
we
thing?
got the police, dude.
because of rock and roll.
They fucking That was a rough one. I'm sorry.
hey man,
Hey,
it was
you
a
know
good
what?
attempt.
It was
I'm a musician. I'm not a comic. I'm fucking trying. My bad.
Yeah,
numbers
hey
is
man, I
low,
think you're doing a
baby.
wonderful job.
The best job.
I think we can
Thanks,
all.
guys.
I think we can all agree though in this situation, Scoundrel. You know, I wouldn't call. You know what though? I think under certain circumstances, you would have been a scumbag had you walked in knowing, and if you were an older man, knowing how much it was going to cost, willingly being like, I know I'm going to rag out $500 and I ain't going to pay it. Like that would have been crazy to me. But the fact that, you know, you walked in and you were just this stupid kid who was like, I got $60. I'm fucking loaded. Like, you know, and then you seeing the bill being like, my parents are going to kill me. I would have ran too. I would have been like,
Yeah,
absolutely
dude,
not.
That's like what you have to do is run.
Just run. There's nothing else
other
you can do in
option.
that situation. What are you going to do? Like, what do they expect? Are they going to call your parents? Are they going to make your fucking mom wire over money to you? Like, how do they expect to get paid in that circumstance? Like, you have to run.
I didn't even know what an e-transfer was then.
They probably weren't even a thing yet.
Yeah.
Honestly,
And this is gonna sound crazy, but a part of me kind of, I feel like subconsciously I probably knew what I was up to.
you probably had a rough idea,
yeah.
a rough idea. But again, you weren't expecting $500.
Yeah, you might have been like a
No,
$200
that's
bill.
crazy.
You're like, they got me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
But,
we'll figure something
yeah.
out. Maybe I have to run, or I pay him some of the money and be like, "I'll come back in another time." Like you would probably talk your way out of that situation. But with $500 is staring you in the face, you go, "I have no other choice but to run right." And this is an animal we got here on our hands that's
Hell
done
yeah.
and gone some pretty funny fucking things.
Yeah, dude, you got into
Yeah.
some trouble.
I knew
before
it too. Like I was like, we got to get this guy on here. I mean, he drinks harder than I do. Like he's gonna have some stories. You know?
Yeah, now I praise the Lord.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's a pastor now. That's even honestly, that's more concerning. I'm like, I definitely don't trust you now.
I got in for the connection.
Yeah. With Kid Rock, kid.
He is a devout Catholic, probably.
Kid
Yeah,
Rock?
I don't know, man. Who cute?
I feel like
you're
he's the-
definitely just saying things now.
No, dude, I know the kid.
You don't know the
You know
kid.
the kid.
We grew up across from Detroit, bro. I know the kid.
He doesn't know the kid. Don't listen to him.
I'm blue collar. He's the fucking blue collar Jesus.
He's red,
He
white,
is.
and blue collar,
Fuck
baby.
yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
American badass.
And if he's got anything to do with it, Biden's going down.
Hell yeah,
Hell
brother.
yeah.
You take him down, Kid
He's the
Rock.
poster child of Republican.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That was like, yeah, that's their go-to guy. He's kind of hip with the youth still, right? It's like, no.
But they call him Kid Rock.
He's like a kid, man.
Well, anyway, dude, you got some stuff to plug, like your social medias and whatnot.
Yeah, if you guys wanna follow me on Instagram, I'm actually trying to get more Instagram followers than all of my ex-girlfriends combined, so I can laugh at them. So come join me on Instagram.
Good. I like that you're malicious.
Yeah, terrible, terrible, man.
What are these girls' names? I want to give them some follows.
Yeah, definitely. It's yeah, it's Will Atwood. You can find me on Instagram. It's W Duraf Gwen is my full thing because that's my real name.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
W Duraf Gwen. So
Giraffe.
Duraf, like DERAAF.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
Dutch. So my stage name is actually Atwood. There's a little tidbit for you.
So Atwood's not your real last name?
No, it's my Nana's last name. Maiden name.
That's a whole nother episode. Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't even know that about you, so that's interesting.
Yeah. There's not many people do. It's in case like I ever get canceled, I can just come back as somebody else.
Some other fucking name.
Which might happen after this podcast.
Exactly. The strippers making phone calls in the comedy community, be like, "Don't book this motherfucker. He still owes me $550."
Is this call from Brazil?
What the fuck? Yeah.
Hey,
Hello, collect call from Brazil. Nope.
Nope. Yeah, that's why I don't got to worry about
would you
it.
like to speak to your son?
And you know what? I got no stand-up shows coming up.
Yeah, COVID kind of.
COVID, yeah. I've got no improv shows because I just don't do improv anymore. Sketch is over.
Good.
Maybe you guys will see me on Disney.
Hey, maybe we'll see you on Disney. Not if I can have anything to do with it, pal.
That's true. This might Walt Disney just comes back to life. He's like, "Fuck no!
You weren't nearly anti-Semitic enough."
The Jews won."
That's funny. All right. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Will Atwood, really funny dude. Check him out. Watch his Tim Hortons commercials. You also actually, sorry, before we cut this off, you did like I saw you did a video that did quite well where you just literally walked around as Donald Trump going,
Oh, yeah.
huge.
Yeah,
That's
that was fucking
That was
weird.
the whole premise of the sketch.
Yeah, that got like 50,000 views.
Yeah, like it did
That's
really well,
sweet.
all things considered. It did Canadian viral.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, 100%. But like, I was, and you know, full apologies to the person who wrote the sketch. There was a sketch that we were doing that day,
Right.
where I had to be Donald Trump, but it was just terrible. And while we were like doing some stuff, I was like dressed as Trump, and I was like, I said to my buddy Adrian, I was like, "Hey, you should just videotape me just saying huge." he's like, "Why?" And I was like, "I don't know, man. I feel like that's really funny."
And
so we
it
just-
was. Like, it did
Nailed
incredibly
it.
well.
somehow.
Yeah.
I watched it the other day. I was like, "This is fucking stupid."
Yeah, I watched it. I saw you reshare it, and I was like, "What is this?" I was like, "What is this?"
Very charming.
Yeah,
Very charming.
yeah.
Can you give us one huge before we go?
Huge.
Tremendous.
Alrighty,
Tremendous.
friends.
It's huge.
All right. Thanks so much for tuning in.